Smith. I'm an agent of Goldstein. I didn't know it myself. Thought crime is so insidious. It just creeps up on you. My daughter found it out. Very proud of her. Very grateful I've been discovered before it's too late. They won't shoot me, will they, Smith? I know I could be very useful in a labor camp.
Room 101.
No. Please. You don't have to take me there. Why? There's nothing I won't confess.
Thanks, Lucas.
Nothing. I've told you everything already. What is it you want me to know? Take him instead of me. He's the thought criminal. It's him you want.
I could hit that vape hard before the show because I try not to do it during the show. I listen, guys. I listen. Today I went to the store. Doesn't sound like a big deal, right? It was. It was an enlightening moment, and I hope you all go to the store soon and do what I did. So I walk in, very crowded today. A lot of people doing their last minute Christmas shopping for food, right? You know, which is a good sign because it tells me a lot of people are going out and, you know, getting prepared to have a big family meal, you know, parties and stuff. The stuff that was in people's carts was suggestive of a good time, surrounded by lots of people. I didn't see a lot of individuals shopping individually. But as I'm sure most of you have noticed, everybody's wearing a mask. I was also wearing a mask. And I noticed there was one guy and his son. His son was probably 12, 13. Wasn't a little kid. And they weren't wearing masks. Now the guy had like a bandana he could pull up if somebody asked him to. And as I walked out of the store with my full shopping cart, having not paid for my groceries, I just looked over at him and I shook my head. What a dum-dum. Had to have been $300 worth of shit. And I don't feel bad about it. The whole time, like every 5 minutes, they would play some, you know, the store would play something that was like, everybody is required to wear a mask. We'll say it was Ralph's, right? So Ralph's speaker is saying, everybody's required to wear a mask for the safety of you and everyone else and the employees. And I was just so annoyed by it. But I was more annoyed at the guy not wearing a mask and teaching his child to, you know, actually pay for groceries at a store like that. Can you believe that? So this will be, I don't know, the 20th store in a month. I just haven't paid for anything. You should see my winter carnival tree. We don't celebrate Christmas. You know how I think it's a bad look for Americans when your shit doesn't fit under the tree, because you just have so much junk and you're gonna wind up never using any of it. But this year, it doesn't fit under my tree. It goes from one wall of my giant second living room to the other wall, and there's like a tree in the middle. And I'm like, I didn't pay for hardly any of this. The only stuff I paid for was the stuff I online shopped for. There's really no way around that. But let me tell you, I wasn't really feeling the Christmas spirit. I was for about 2 weeks now. And then yesterday, bah humbug. It's all coming together, and now I got to do all this stuff. And just imagine on top of that, having the stress of this crazy pandemic. Then imagine spending your money on groceries and toys and Christmas gifts. Couldn't do it. So it made me feel better today. I go, well, at least I'm not, wasting my money. I'm wasting a corporation's money, and it makes me feel good. That's the I'm gonna call it the spirit of taking, and it feels good. If you haven't tried it, let me tell you this. Nobody will stop you. They won't even, if you wanted to be safe, have a clean getaway and everything, and have nobody really suspect anything, you can go to one of these stores ahead of time, buy like a pack of gum or a bag of chips, and then go to self-checkout. When you get there, obviously, pay for the one thing, big deal. And then you go to the self-checkout, and then you bag your own groceries. You just take a stack of shopping bags, plastic bags, and then you go back in the store and you load those bags up and then just walk out. I didn't do that, but it's probably the safer move, just in case. That way, when you get to your car, you can throw everything in a lot faster. It's not all loose. But I didn't do that today. It's a good strategy, though. I would say if anybody gives you trouble, start coughing. But nobody's going to do anything. Nobody wants to get close to you. All stores now are pretty much mandated to let go of stolen merchandise. Don't chase anybody. It could wind up in a murder or an assault charge or a lawsuit. And stealing isn't bad anymore. It's basically decriminalized almost everywhere. Now, could you catch a charge for it? Yeah, if they catch you, who's going to catch you? You'll notice there's not a lot of police in these stores either. This time last year there was. If you ever go to Home Depot, this time of year, there's always like extra cops. Because Mexicans steal tools. Now, it's not racist, because I then buy those tools at a discount. So, it's a cycle I participate in. But anyway, best time to buy tools this time of year. What they do around here is they'll send a bunch of guys into a store at once, and they'll grab any expensive power tools you can imagine, and then they'll all run out at the same time. Do some of them get caught sometimes? Yeah. But most of them get away. Only one cop can catch one person. And they don't even want to this year. Imagine how beaten down those poor guys are. They're all wore out from yelling at people for not wearing masks and giving them the old wood shampoo for not complying with things that aren't laws. I don't know. So that's my story for today. Give it a try. Go steal some shit. It's the new America. They steal from you, steal from them, and the corporations just get all your tax money anyway. Am I wrong? Now you tell me. Am I lying? What do we got today? Here's a good one. This is a map of lawmakers who implement policy about. Let me try to zoom in just a smidge. Who they make policy about. Come on. COVID rules. And this is a list of them breaking the COVID rules all over the country. Now, it's mostly heavily centered in Democrat population centers. Little odd. But if you notice, you got the San Francisco area. It's a hot spot. You got the Chicago area. Another hot spot. Everywhere in the Northeast. Look at that. And then Dallas, I believe, votes blue. Fort Worth votes red. Then you got Houston. No, that's Austin. That looks more like the Austin area. Maybe it's San Antonio. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with Texas. But yeah, your liberal hotspots is also where you're noticing politicians who want you to eat your cake. You're noticing them violating their own rules. So take a good look at that. Rules for thee and not for me. Gotta love it. Today's show, I figure, will be worse than most shows because I don't want to be here. I've realized I don't like this. And I don't really want to do it. And the only reason I've kept doing it is because people say, you should keep doing that. And I go, does it make you happy? And they say, yeah. It's a nice show. You should do it. And I go, fine. I feel obligated now. But I'm also obligated to let you know that in the new year, I don't feel like I want to do this anymore. It's not fun or entertaining for me. And I'm now looking out for el numero uno, as they say, moi. Here is Biden being Biden.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you.
Do you still think that the stories from the fall about your son Hunter were Russian disinformation at a smear campaign?
So if you couldn't hear, there's a reporter asking about the stories from the fall about Hunter, if Biden would respond to any of that, Joe Biden. And you're about to hear him just... this is a tactic the government uses. They just eventually tell you the truth, like it's not the truth. And then they go, I put it out there.
Yes. God love you.
Yes. It's all true. What the fuck are you going to do? I'm president now.
Man, you're a one-horse pony.
You're a one-horse pony. He can't even get his old-timey colloquialisms right. I probably misuse colloquialisms. I hope not. You're a one-horse pony.
I tell you, thank you. I promise you my Justice Department will be totally on its own, making its judgments about how they should proceed. Thank you.
And then he goes on to say, to thank the guy, because Biden was able to get that off of his chest. He's like, I feel so much better. That was cathartic. I just admitted to everything. He could too. You remember when there was an uproar when Trump said I could shoot somebody in the middle of, what was it, Fifth Avenue, and I'd still be president? Joe Biden could do the same thing. Joe Biden could admit to everything that he's been accused of, or his campaign has been accused of. Everything, all of it. And nobody is going to do anything. He's still president. There's also a lot of chatter about people starting to abandon Trump and being like, "Oh, you're holding up the show. Let's get this over with." And nobody's really sticking with him. And I gotta point out to the people that are watching, all four of you, that if you're not prepared yet for the government to continue to function as normal again very soon, the new normal, you're in for a huge disappointment. I would start following all of their rules if I were you, and using their own rules against them. It's a very popular tactic with the left. So, like when you go to a store, wear a mask and steal everything. And if you happen to get caught, or if somebody tries to stop you, just assault them. Can I say that? I gotta check with standards and practices. Can I say assault them? I can't say. Maybe you should assault them. I gotta put it like that. Okay. I don't know. Hold on. Okay. I have to say, I can't tell you to assault them, but maybe if you were afraid of jail because of you might get COVID, you fear for your life, and you're poor because of your government, you probably need that food, and you should not be met with violence. But if you are, violence begets violence. And this is stuff owed to you, I guess. I don't know. Just steal shit. Who cares? Do me a favor. Do everybody a favor, though. Don't steal from little mom and pop places. Steal from your big chain stores that are slowly choking them out of business as they get no relief. And your big grocery and junk conglomerates like Target and Walmart and Ralph's and Kroger's and Walgreens and all that, you know, I'm sure they're getting all their money back. I'm sure they're getting all your money. So don't worry about it. After all, don't be a one-horse pony. Come on, man. I'm not feeling high energy. You know, yeah, I wanted to say that I fucking hate so many people. It's not like I can have a list. Just most fucking people are fucking stupid. Stupid. And people associate themselves with these stupid people. And I go, I didn't think you were an idiot. But by you doing so, you're now an idiot. But you're an idiot by proxy. What are you going to do?
Find you safe by following some simple steps. Put on your face covering before you enter any shop. Sanitize your hands, as well as your trolley or basket handles, both before and after use.
Merry Christmas, everybody. That's the world we live in. That's the new normal of a dark winter. 15 days to flatten the curve. 15 days to psychologically prepare you for a life of subjugation. That's all I got. So I wanted to cut some promo clips today. So let's give them a shot. I tell you what, in the comments, give me something to say as a promo, and I'll repeat it, and we'll see if it winds up being used as a promotional commercial or like in a clip or something like that. But I'll start out with, let me see. Oh, I fucking hate you people. Let's try that again. Oh, I fucking hate you people. Tune in. I don't know. But I will pull up the comments now and see what we got. Well, I don't feel like sticking around. Scooney says creepy Joe Biden is not president. Those are just words. Those are just words. I didn't ask you if he was president. I said, are you prepared for when he is eventually named president? Could you imagine debating? Can you imagine debating people? Especially now, after all the copes and all the moving of the goalposts and all the evidence just slowly evaporating. Because I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's factually inaccurate. I'm saying you have an entire government and media corporations, an entire government and all media corporations dedicated to Joe Biden being president. But saying in a chat room that he's not, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. But thanks for the comment, Scooney. I appreciate it. But I'm just asking if you are prepared for when he is sworn in as president. Now, a lot of people don't think like me. They go, no, it's going to be fine. Trump will be president. We won't have to steal from stores. Just remember, you better get in the habit of it now, because you're not going to be able to afford to eat very soon. And your government's not going to pay for you to eat. And when they do finally start paying for you to eat, feed your family, it's going to be like bread and broth. You're going to get broth and bread from your government. But you won't have to work, right? Y'all did hear about the new COVID strain, right? The new mutation. Look into it. Oh, there was something else. By the way, thanks a lot for not feeding me lines you want me to say. Great audience. I did have a article. It's kind of in the vein of what I was talking about.
Our service members and our national security every year for the last 59 years. As I indicated when I filed cloture on the NDAA conference report after Thanksgiving, my attention was and is.
Why does he talk like that? I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. It's just annoying and lazy. By the way, support the troops in foreign wars, guys. Otherwise, you're not American.
To ensure the Senate continues fulfilling our obligation to the men.
And they always tell you the troops. But what they're actually saying is all the contractors and people who make billions of dollars off of endless war has nothing to do with the troops. If it had to do with the troops, you would not send them to these nations. You would not send them to spread freedom, which has that worked anywhere in the last 100 years? Anybody? Standards and practices? Has that worked? I don't think so. How are you still falling for the idea that if you don't throw billions and billions and billions of dollars at the military-industrial complex, you're somehow not supporting the troops? If you support the troops, bring them home. That's really all there is to it. How did that become a Republican thing to be pro-war to the detriment of your own nation? Support the troops is a lie. They do not support the troops. They support the troops invading other nations so that their donors and the people they will eventually work for, because once they get out of government, and even while they're in government, they become rich because they get paid. What's it called? What's it called when you leave government? It's like an advisor? That's not the word. Somebody tell me the word in the comments, but that's why they want the wars. It has nothing to do with supporting the troops. It's when you think about it for 2 seconds, you go, yeah, that is pretty stupid.
Men and women of our armed forces. I hope the President will not veto this bill, which redoubles our commitment to modernization, advances cutting-edge capabilities.
Of the military. Modernization of the military advances cutting-edge capabilities. Do you see what he's saying? The Army does not build this stuff. It does not. The Army's not. The military is not what advances these cutting-edge capabilities. It's military contractors. You're not supporting the troops. You're supporting endless war and multi-billion-dollar defense corporations to come up with more. And here's the other thing. World War I introduced planes into combat, right? And those were typically, like, say, single prop planes. Or maybe even bi-wing planes. I don't know. They went both ways. And then with World War II, you had the introduction of... I don't think you had jets in World War II. But your engines got better, and you got better tanks. But then the other side got better tanks. And then Vietnam, you got helicopters, and you got jets, and then you got... it just keeps going, and going, and going, and going. So it doesn't matter what cutting-edge capabilities you have, how you've modernized your military force. China's... First of all, you're going to sell it to China, you fucking traitors. Or China's going to steal it and you're not going to do anything about it. And you'll eventually buy the technology back from China that they stole from United States companies. But it's just... I'm just going to say it. It's just bullshit to make more money Defense contractors make money from endless war, and it is a big business. I haven't even looked up what the latest defense, by the way, defense spending. Bullshit. It's not defense. What are you defending? You don't defend our borders. You don't defend our elections. What are you defending? Oh, how much were those bombs that Obama was dropping? Weren't they the bunker busters or something? Were they No, the Tomahawks. The Tomahawk missiles, I believe, were $1 million a piece. And Obama dropped more bombs than Bush ever did. By far. He ran out of $1 million bombs. Now, if we were to look at how many people those bombs killed, like, what would you want in return? What would the exchange rate be? Like, I want 10 Taliban members per $1 million bomb. Like, I wonder if you got that. Like, how many bombs were dropped that actually killed enemy combatants? Like, what's your return on investment with that? And what's an acceptable return on investment? Like, a bullet's cheap, but they go, well, we don't want to put our troops in harm's way. But you will send them to these nations that we're not really at conflict with. And when you look at what those nations are doing, you're going, well, that upsets our oil status quo. Hard to hear, I know. Don't be angry. Just look into it. Look into yourself and stop relying on the news to tell you it's about protecting our troops, or even protecting these nations from their dictatorial leadership. Because we saved Libya, thank God, because now they have open-air slave markets. Good job, America.
Capabilities and equips our military with the tools and resources they need to compete with our great power adversaries.
Such as China? Well, what have you done to weaken China and potentially their military? And I'm talking about McConnell. I'm talking about Congress, not Trump, who tried to stop having so many U.S. dollars pour into China. Like, China has to pay for this shit. China has to pay to assemble their stolen American technology. If you want to slow down the competition of competing with our great power adversaries, you can do that non-militarily. This is a farce. This is an illusion. We need to spend more money on the military, to stop these other countries' militaries. You can grind their military expansion to a halt if you stopped giving them so much money. And you started holding their feet to the fire when it came to stolen American technologies. But you don't want to do that. You want endless war and endless spending on war.
On land, on sea, in the air, and in cyberspace. These are the steps we need to take to continue to compete with Russia and China.
Russia's military is nothing. No offense, Russia. It's nothing. Russia's GDP is that of Texas. It's that of one state, not even the most productive state, not even the state with the highest GDP in the entire country. Russia is on par with Texas. You don't need to compete with Russia. This is them lying to you. This is them saying, oh, be afraid, Russia's coming in. What the fuck does Russia want with the United States? It's not a military issue with Russia. If it is a propaganda issue with Russia, your military might means nothing.
In the event that President Trump does elect to veto this bipartisan bill,
here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Here it comes. This one is for Shkoony, everybody.
it appears the House may choose to return after the holidays to set up a vote to consider the veto. The Democratic leader and I have agreed to a unanimous consent request as follows. The Senate will meet for pro forma sessions only until December the 29th, when we will return to session. In the event that the President has vetoed the bill and the House has voted to override the veto, the Senate would have the opportunity to process the veto override at that time.
So even if Trump vetoes it, your Republicans are going to go along with the Democrats. But you keep thinking it's the Republicans or the Democrats or it's the communists or the Marxists and not your own party, God forbid. What are the Republicans going to do? I don't know anybody that's okay. And granted, I travel in very extreme circles. But I don't know anybody like in my vanilla extended family, my politically vanilla extended family or friends that aren't political that are, I don't even know any of them that are okay with the Republicans right now. They've sealed their fate. There has to be a payoff for them. Why would they allow this to happen? You're watching Trump get politically martyred. And you still think he's going to win. He doesn't even have the people he needs to acknowledge he won anymore. There's nobody on his side with the power to do that. It's over. And Trump is not, even if he got 4 more years, do you think they're going to stop? They're not going to stop. Look at what they were able to do with him in office. And don't give me that, oh, he had his hands tied behind his back because he couldn't go scorched earth until he got 4 more years. Well, first of all, it doesn't look like he's going to get 4 more years. And second of all, they say that about every president, and they really don't do anything. Do you know why? Because they're beholden to people. Hey, Postman Patriot. I saw that Gavin McInnes was on this channel. Know where I can get or see the replay? It could be on YouTube. I believe the actual stream was taken down because there might have been an accidental doxing, but there is a replay actually, I believe, on the DLive channel. If you are on DLive right now, you can scroll to where it says replay right under the screen somewhere here, and you should be able to replay it from there. But our remote producer Jane Taylor has condensed it down to 40 minutes. It was about a 3-hour show, and it's condensed down to about 40 minutes. And you can find that on our Murder the Media Telegram channel. And if you're not on Telegram, you should really give it a shot. It's kind of hard to understand at first, but how it works is there's just a bunch of different channels on it that all put out different kinds of information and stuff. And it's now 500 million people strong on Telegram. Yet Murder the Media only has 1,500 followers. Boo. Why do we do it? I don't know. I don't want to. I don't care anymore if people wake up to reality anymore. And I'm not a fucking grifter. Like, I can't sit here with a straight face and just keep telling you the same shit every day. Tomahawk cost $1.59 million. I wonder what it would cost if the government wasn't willing to pay $1.59 million. Defense measures create countermeasures. It's an endless cycle. Correct. Thanks for following Bryback22. I appreciate it. Government rations, just a white label can that says beans. You have to figure out what kind of beans. We've probably outsourced bean production to another country too. Bread, powdered milk, beans, rice, and cheese. By the way, guys, you are running out of time. See, I wish I sold shit. I'd have Vil Nomerly's beans and rice pre-packaged meals for the end times, but I don't. Go out and steal you some rice and beans while you can. Now, some people say beans are not a significant enough source of protein. Better than nothing. They last. Another thing, I bought rat traps recently because I noticed critters up in my ceiling. And I caught 2 rats. I haven't caught any since. It's weird. But I don't really hear anything in the ceiling anymore. Maybe I just had 2. Anyway, I was thinking I could probably use those. They're pretty good sized traps. I can use those as little rabbit traps. I got rabbits everywhere. So I could probably have me some rabbit stew a couple times a week. Something to think about. But I live on a very large estate. Probably not trapping any rabbits in the inner city. All right. That's it. I don't have anything else. I don't want to have anything else. Steal what you can. Damn the man. And, well, I guess I got a host. So hang on. First of all, let me see how many people are watching. 16. Not bad, I guess. Let me see. Let's host. I'll host Happening Center. As soon as I leave, feel free to take off. But say hi to Happening Center for me.